The Atelier series has been around and been a place in my heart since the early PS3 era. It was those games growing up that I just couldn't afford at the time, starting with Atelier Verona, and that was over 12 years ago, y'all. Fast forward to 2019, the hit series Atelier Yumia hit the world, and arguably this was the breakout title for this series and franchise. After 3 solid entries with Ryza, let's find out if Atelier Yumia is next up in the series' future. Enter Atelier Yumia, the Alchemist of Memories in an Envisioned land. Currently, I'm about 21 plus hours in the game on 2 different save files, starting off on easy and very hard, which have both been fun experiences. So that being said, take this as a pseudo review or review in progress. More importantly, use this video to find out if you should buy, play, or even get into Atelier Yumia from my experience and from my perspective. So let's get right into it. Atelier Yumia, the Alchemist of Memory. Listen, the title is long, I don't essentially like to spoil stories for games in these reviews, but I will say the story starts off really strong, very serious, and gives you a glimpse into the future of the events of Atelier Yumia. However, it then dives off into you being into the Legenius region. Essentially, what happens is the world gets pretty much a huge mana spill throughout the world, making it safe for everyone to travel, and we meet the wonderful protagonist, Yumia, who is an alchemist. If I had to say a quick story it simply reminded me of, it's like this cool crossover of being wholesome with Tales of Berseria opening and a lot of key metaphor, key elements so far. Really good so far. Gameplay. Atelier Yumia gameplay is honestly one of my favorite battle systems in RPG history. Atelier Yumia gameplay is a real-time tactical RPG, and it gets really good the more you dive deeper into its systems. In combat, members fight in 2 different ranges, which is also called range shift. The outer ring is for range attacks and AoE abilities, while the inner ring is used for more heavy hitting attacks, close range move, and this also affects the item ranges depending on what they are and where they are used. You can use the guard button with L2, but you can also precision guard and reduce the damage. You can even evade to avoid damage altogether. Playing on higher difficulties will help you if you master this, because the enemies in the wild will melt you and your team really fast. You can also stun the enemies heavy in this game's combat system. If you attack with skills that match the element of a target stun symbol, once they hit 0, they are cooked. You can switch characters in combat by pressing R2 and the character's corresponding button to tag in. You can also set this up via the party menu in the game. However, there is a difference. When you tag without an action, they come in clean. If you tag in while doing an ability, they will attack on switch in. This gives the gameplay systems more spice to make everything feel streamless and constantly fast paced without sacrificing the deep or slowing the game down to make the game switch through other menus 24/7. One minor gripe I do have with gameplay is using healing items. I personally don't like that I have to long press to use an item. It feels very weird and clunky having guard and holding down or double tap to bring up that menu in battle, which was on another button entirely. The coolest thing about battles is that you can flee, but it does come at the cost of your equipment. You need smoke bombs to escape battles. It's a 100% success rate. However, you have to craft them in order to get them. How do you do that? Well, it's time to talk about exploration. Exploration on Atelier Yumia is incredible. The world of Atelier Yumia is a pretty vibrant open world. You know how in most open world games you can pretty much see the most of the map, but it's hidden or it's kind of blocked off in a lot of areas? It's like that too, but Yumia be like, mind you, I'm only like 20 hours in. Essentially, whatever you collect and explore is what helps you progress through the world in game. You'll be picking up random flowers, drops, and you'll be exploring landmarks and abandoned buildings, find a lot of different items. The game has puzzles and different challenges as well. The coolest thing about this game is Yumia has her own gimmick in the open world and exploration with her rifle. Yumia has a rifle which can be used to progress throughout the puzzles and many other things. The rifle can be used to shoot down high up crystals and items altogether, and also help open doors and passageways you couldn't normally reach. It makes you actually look around your environment to see if you can find a different way to progress. The rifle can also be used to stun enemies before battle. Some enemies can take up to 3 to 5 shots, bro, to fully stun and give you an advantage before the battle begins. After that, you walk in and you get the free stun if you can hit the shots off before you battle them during exploration. Next is the synthesis and simple synthesis mechanic. In Atelier Yumia, crafting and building is key. If you like The Sims, this RPG will make you fucking love this game. Simple synthesis is where you can create items that will be used in the field and exploration. You can also build your own house to you to progress through the story and have different bases to do the same things as well. This is where you can create additional spoke bombs, repair kits for broken doors, and even craft bullets for exploration and even for battle. Synthesis is where you can create all the cool ass weapons and new items to use in battle, or even craft story items to progress. The beauty of exploration in this game is that your finds can make even more powerful outcomes. When creating, some slots have elements imbued with them, so with some ingredients have special powers when you use them for synthesis. Essentially, alchemy cores require specific ingredients to make the synthesis happen. Adding these ingredients will activate them, causing alchemy slots and drifting mana to appear. Synthesis can be started once the alchemy cores are activated. The little stars you see around them, if you have some type of material or ingredient to make it hit the whole area of it, it only benefits you and it increases the mana or the resonance of your synthesis. So try to always aim for that in the gameplay if possible. Lastly, I do want to bring up Piornerring Effot. Now, this happened during the story a couple times when I progressed so far. They made me do like some Piornerring Effot to progress a little bit in the game. I don't think it's a reoccurring thing for Atelier Yumia, but I will say that it might be a thing in the game, somewhat very similar to where you might have to do a little extra things along the way. But after that first initial time, I did not get hit with that at all ever again so far, at least with from 10 to like 20 hours at least. Last but not least, I want to answer the question: should you buy Atelier Yumia, the Alchemist of Memories, and the Envisioned land? Honestly, like I said, I have over 20 plus hours into this series, into this game. And I do want to tell everybody up front that with RPGs, I'm more prone to spend money on them because they're longer and there's a lot more to experience throughout of them. The story is seemingly from anywhere from 30 to 50 hours long, depending on how you play and go about the world and the environments. And to be honest with you, from a style, from a sauce, and a lot of good things, this game is damn near perfect. But it has its flaws. Sometimes certain buttons be very like laggy and optimization can be a little funky a little bit. And the camera can be whack some areas in battle where like you can't access certain things or see certain things and it gets too chaotic. If I had to give a score, I'm giving this an 8.5 out of 10 right now. If they optimize those things, this is honestly one of the best games in RPG history, in my honest opinion, if you're one of the OG RPG fans. All in all, this is my early review in progress of Atelier Yumia, the Alchemist of Memories, and an Envisioned land. If you want to check me out and play more of these types of games on the channel, please make sure y'all hit the like button. And so far, the game is pretty amazing so far. Also, somebody's probably going to make the joke, man, it look like I'm watching Zenless or Tales of. That's the same vibe I got too. I get it, I understand. But these series have been around doing a lot of this stuff in the early 2000s to early 2010s from my first experience. If I had to give you my honest opinion on this game, this will probably be one of my favorite RPGs, probably all of 2025. It might go under the radar, it might not be that big, but in my heart, this is the peak shit. That being said, it's your boy Avataryaya. Make sure y'all hit the like and subscribe for more content on RPGs and fighting games and everything in between. And remember, you guys are goated, and that is raw. Squala, peace, and I'm out.
Let's see who's stronger.